Glam Girls, welcome back to my channel. It's Chelsea, where we talk about all things glam and all things girly. I am a beauty enthusiast that loves to talk about everything dealing with beauty and makeup, but I do like to change it up and throw in a little bit of fashion and some vlogs. So if all of that sounds like content that is of interest to you, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And today, we're just doing a good old get ready with me and trying on some new makeup to me. So of course, I'll be sharing with you demonstrations, my thoughts, all of the products, and yeah, just a simple old get ready with me. So thank you so much for spending some time with me today, and let's get right into this video. So in today's video, we will be sharing our thoughts on the new Gucci eyeshadow palette. I also have the Nars high profile cheek palette. We are going to be discussing a new brand, a Canadian brand, St. Cosmetics. So in today's video, I'm using their foundation and also one of their lipsticks. New concealer by Rose Inc., a new mascara by Kosas, and a couple of brow products by Kosas. So let's get into it first. Okay. So Gucci came out with an eyeshadow palette, right? And when I saw this eyeshadow palette, I immediately knew I had to purchase it for one reason and one reason only: the packaging. Look at this packaging here. And you guys, I did not have high expectations for the palette. This is the back of the palette. It also came with a beautiful pink sleeve, very much like the pink sleeve that the powder comes in, and also the bronzer. I just knew I had to have it. So this palette does retail for $149. We get a total of 12 shades in the palette with the combinations of matte shades and shimmer shades. I purchased this palette from Saks Fifth Avenue. I purchased it on pre-order. It took forever to get to me. It is currently though available on Sephora, and if you are interested in it, you can get it a lot faster on Sephora. It does come with a really nice size functional mirror right here. And this palette is fragrance free, has matte finishes, satin finishes, and metallic finishes. So this is a true collector's item, finished with a gold trim and complete with a mirror. The palette features 12 eyeshadows with 3 finishes. It says that these eyeshadows are highly pigmented. They have a long-wearing formula that includes a formulation of being light and buildable. It says the shadows are soft to the touch and include 3 different textures, which we've already talked about. Something else I want to point out, this pan is removable. So if you somehow panned all of the eyeshadows, you could still keep this and, I don't know, put a couple of things in it. This depression is not that deep, but you could definitely keep this as a collector's item. So starting off with this shade right here, this is a satin formula, and it's like a nice burgundy-ish shade. And I used that with a brush, blended that all across the lid. Then I went in with this pewter shade right here and just put it right here on the inner portion of the eye, kind of blended it into that burgundy raspberry type of shade. Wanted to create a very simple look, because I felt like getting into this palette, this palette is more so just for those simple looks, and that is what I have concluded about this eyeshadow palette. On the lower lash line, I just went right back in with the satin shade right here. For the inner corner, I went in with this shade, which I do believe is one of the metallic types of shades. I put it right here and as the inner corner highlight. And then for the brow bone, I did go in with this white shade, which this white shade does have like a pink hue to it. So if you take a look at it here, it's got like a pinkish hue to it. It's not totally white, which I am very happy about. It doesn't look as pale on my skin. So use that for the brow bone highlight. And like I said, very simple look, very easy to achieve. For this eye, I did want to go in with a little more drama. So I went in with this black shade, and I was pleasantly surprised. I thought that this black shade was not going to be pigmented. I thought it was going to look pigmented in the pan, but not on the eye. It actually built up really nicely, blended out fairly nicely too. It was very easy to work with, and I think for a black shadow, this is a really good black shadow formulation, because it's not going to be overly pigmented for people who are not used to working with black eyeshadow. But if you are an experienced artist, it's obviously going to be easy to work with as well. So I really was impressed by this black shade. Then I went in with this purple shade right here, which is also a metallic shade, and I put that over the black eyeshadow. For the most part, I left the outer corner free of that purple shade, but blended that over the eye, went on beautifully, and went in with this silver shade, and I was totally taken by surprise. Did not think it was gonna be that pigmented at all. I actually went in with a fluffy brush because I wanted more of like a lighter application of the silver shade, and I was like, oh, was not ready for you. This silver shade is also a metallic shade and highly pigmented. For the lower lash line, I went back in with the black shade and then the deep purple shade, and then just went back in with the silver shade for the inner corner. I didn't go in with any of the brown shades for this particular look because I figured these are shades that we're all pretty familiar with. However, I will say this. I have used every shade in the palette because it took me 3 attempts to get this finalized look. And what I mean by that is I first started off with using this light kind of salmon pink shade, and I was creating another look, and I didn't like how that turned out. Then I was like, ooh, I've got to try this blue shade, and I did not like how that turned out. And so my conclusion of this palette, it is totally not a need at all. Completely not a need. I wouldn't even recommend it as like an eyeshadow palette to have. However, like I mentioned before, this palette I just wanted. So I did not go into it with high expectations. I purchased it almost like a collector's item. I really, like I said, the packaging just won me over. I looked at the shades and I was like, I can work with these shades. Even if they're not the most pigmented, I can make them work. And I do feel like this is such a simple to use palette. What I mean by that is if you're going in and you're trying to do, mix all the shades, I just don't think the eye look is going to be complimentary. I think this palette was formulated for that everyday wearer and for the person who's just like, look, I want to throw on a couple shades and be out the door. Like this look right here is such a work appropriate look. I can bring the drama with this look, and I was happy to see the versatility in the palette. But I don't think this is a palette where I'm gonna reach for when I wanna create a look with like 6 different eyeshadows. I think this is the palette I'm gonna reach for when I'm like, you know what? I wanna throw this one in the transition, I wanna throw that in the outer corner, and throw this on the inner lid and be out the door. And that's exactly what I think this palette is for. Like I said, I really wanted that palette as a collector's item. I'm happy to have it. Would I recommend it to you? I would only recommend it if you're just like, I really want it, and like, are the shadows decent? And yes, they are decent. I think the eye looks that I created are like complimentary. I think they're nice. It's not the best formulated eyeshadow palette I've ever tried, but I am happy with my purchase because I just wanted it. And I think it's beautiful. I'm happy to have it. I might even just put it up as a little decor piece. Who knows? But those are my thoughts on the eyeshadow palette. I wanted to start off with that because that was what I was most interested in because I had not tried it before today. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below if you do have this palette. I'm very interested to hear what you guys think. Foundation. So I found out about this brand, St. Cosmetics, from Just Jamie, and I was like, ooh, those products look stunning and they look like a brand that I would really love to try. So thank you so much to St. Cosmetics for sending me these products. I really do appreciate it. So they are a luxury Canadian-based brand. This is their Flawless Radiant Skincare Foundation. So I have the shade Toffee, which is 3.75C. And this is described for tan to dark skin with peach undertones. And I love a foundation with peach undertones. Now, forgive me, I thought I was recording my application and I wasn't. So that's why you see my face already with foundation and me just applying a little bit more foundation so you can see how it goes on. But to give you some details about this foundation, it does retail for $54. We get a standard 30 milliliters of product or 1 fluid ounce of product, and it comes in 18 shades. The shade that I have, 3.75C, is going to be closer to the end of the shade. So it's my shade, and then there are 4 deeper shades after me. But I will say that for 18 shades, they actually have a pretty good shade range. So that is very nice to see. This brand is a clean brand, so this product is free from parabens, sulfates, silicone, and so forth. This foundation is like a filter in a bottle and will provide camera-worthy skin that will have all of your friends begging to be let on your little secret. It has anti-aging rose hip oil, which I love, and I use rose hip oil almost every night when I do my nighttime skincare routine. And then it has, I don't know if you pronounce this Kakadu, or I think it's Kakadu plum. This is going to take your glow to the next level. Y'all know I love me a glow, so I love to read that. Some other things that are in this particular foundation, there is vitamin C extract, which obviously is going to help the skin glow. You have jojoba oil that's going to tone down inflammation, while sunflower seed oil promotes the look of even skin tone. This product is also cruelty-free, gluten-free, and fragrance-free. So, like I said, so sorry that I didn't get the whole demonstration of the foundation on camera. When pumping this out of the bottle, it definitely feels like this has like a gel-like formulation. It's a little thick, but not heavy feeling. So I've had this foundation on for about an hour now. It does not feel heavy on the skin. It does feel quite breathable, and it looks so pretty. Like, this is a pretty looking foundation. I love the undertone of this foundation. Like I said, I love peach-based undertones. I think they are the most complimentary onto my skin, and so I was really happy to see that this undertone of the foundation is peach as well. I didn't really set my face. What I mean by that is I set my concealer, but I didn't go over my face and set it. And my face, I mean, it's just like there's just a slight tack to it, but I also don't feel the need to set my face. So I have pretty normal skin, and I don't feel like I'm looking at my mirror far away. I don't feel like my skin is looking like oily or anything like that that would make me think like I need powder to have any longevity throughout the day. I have been doing horrible with my nighttime skincare routine. Like, I'll wash my face during the day, but I won't do it at night. And I've been eating all the things. So I have a lot of breakouts along here. I'll come in close so you can see. But I think it still is sitting quite nicely along the areas that I'm broken out on. So I have breakouts here and then right along here. And I feel like this is still looking really nice over top of those breakouts. So very happy about that. So I will keep you updated on my thoughts. Initial thoughts are, I'm here for her. She is like cute, like really cute. So very happy about this. I have some other products by St. Cosmetics that I'll be featuring in another video, but pleasantly surprised. So going in next with concealer, I did receive this complimentary from Octoly and Rose Inc. So thank you so much for sending this to me. And this is the Rose Inc. Soft Light Clean Dewy Hydrating Concealer. So this is what the packaging looks like. I really like the shape of this particular concealer. It does come in 18 shades. It does retail for $30, and I have the shade LX110. This is described as for medium to deep skin tones with a golden undertone. Some highlights about this concealer: it has a medium coverage, radiant finish, long wearing, good for dark circles, clean plus planet positive, and vegan. So this is a buildable, non-comedogenic concealer that brightens, blurs, and contours while nourishing skin with hydrating squalene and protective vitamin E. Some other ingredients in this concealer: there is fig buttercup extract that's going to help calm the skin and visibly reduce redness. This product is vegan, cruelty-free, and comes in recyclable packaging. So I've been actually using this concealer, I want to say, for at least a week now. I really enjoy this concealer. So it has a very large doe foot applicator, like so. And this shade is just a smidge lighter than my complexion, so I can wear it under the eye to give a slight brightening effect, but I also could wear it all over the face. Like, I actually did that one time. I just kind of put a little bit more in the center of my face, and then I went around the perimeter with another cream product to give me a little bit more dimension, and I also liked wearing it like that. This definitely has very solid coverage. I would say this is even more full coverage versus medium coverage. You see me in the demonstration only put a little bit here because just that little bit here gives me full coverage all along here. When I first started using this concealer, I was putting, some here and some here, and I felt like that was too much concealer for what I like. So I think this is definitely more full coverage than medium coverage. I love the radiant finish that it does have. It definitely helps that under eye area look hydrated, plump, and alive. And I think even though this shade is not so light, it definitely has a brightening effect to it. I am here for this concealer. I really want to try this concealer as a contour. So I think when the Sephora VIB event occurs in a couple of weeks, so excited about that, I'm gonna pick up another shade to do a little bit of contouring because it blends so nicely. It does have a thicker formulation, but nothing that is so thick that's going to cause a ton of creasing or feel heavy under the eye. If you use too much, then yes, I feel like you will have a lot of excess product that would lead to creasing. But if you use just a little bit or just what you need, I think it just looks beautiful. And I have noticed with this concealer, I don't have this need to set it. So today I did set it with my Kosas powder, but I have also worn this concealer without setting it, and I don't feel the need to set it. So if you do have more normal to potentially dry skin, this probably would be a concealer that you wouldn't want to set because you would probably really enjoy the radiant finish, and it doesn't really tend to move too much. So I'm very, very happy with this one. I actually really suggest giving this one a try. So after concealer, I went in with this Nars. This is the High Profile Cheek Palette. It does retail for $59. And it is a limited edition. We get 6 new limited edition shades, and it's going to be what they call a holiday themed blush, highlighter, and contour palette featuring 6 limited edition shades and one of Nars' most innovative formulas. So first shade is Nude Review. This is what they describe as a shimmering bronze. Next we have Spin-Off, which is a shimmering mauve pink. High Demand, which is a shimmering cinnamon. Hit It Off, shimmering candy pink. Showdown, which is a shimmering coral. And then Just Lust, which is a shimmering raspberry. So here are all of the shades in this cheek palette. And the shades they say are shimmering, but they have a very slight shimmer to them. It's nothing that's heavily shimmery or that you're gonna see any, grit or particles. So I went in first with High Demand shimmering cinnamon. I wanted to use that as like a contour shade to see how it looks, and it built up pretty nicely. I will say right off the bat, I do not like this formulation of the shades. This is a gelée type formulation, but it's quite, it doesn't pick up a lot of product on a brush. So first I went in with a synthetic brush. So I went in with this blush brush. This is from BK Beauty times Angie Hot and Flashy. This is the brush that she came out with. And I went in to build it up because I feel like sometimes with a gelée type formula, synthetic brushes are easier to pick up the products since you tend to not get a lot of product with the formulation. So went in with this brush, and I felt like this particular shade built up really nicely as like a nice bronzer shade. So then after that, I wanted to go in with this raspberry shade and went in using the same brush, and I just felt like I could not pick up product with this brush. I could barely see it, and I was just like, I feel like I should be getting more pigment from this shade. And Nars for a very long time was my favorite blush formula. So I was just like, I am having such a hard time picking up this shade. So then I switched to a Sonia G brush. So I went in with my Sonia G Designer Pro brush thinking, okay, maybe I do need to switch to a natural hair brush. I don't know. So I was able to pick up more product and pack it onto the cheek, but I felt like I was expecting these shadows to be more pigmented. So then after that, I went in with this shade right here, which is described as the candy pink, and I went in with the same brush because I was getting even less pigmentation. And I mean, I feel like I just have a flush of pigment onto the cheeks. Now the highlighter worked beautifully. And for the highlighter, I went in with my Sonia G detailing brush. And this brush gave me the most success with pigmentation. So I'm gonna try now to see, do we need a dual fiber brush? Is that the best brush to use? So I'm gonna go back in with this shade right here, and I'm going to apply it to my cheeks, and I'm already seeing more pigment onto the brush. Yes, okay, this is what I was expecting. So here we go. Use a dual fiber brush, because a natural hair brush wasn't cutting it for me. A very dense synthetic brush wasn't doing it for me. I'm gonna go back in with this shade and just add it. Okay, there we go. All right. So I think that these shades are nice. I don't love this as much. I'm gonna go in with this coral shade and just pop it onto my cheeks just so we can see it. I don't love it as much as Orgasm on the Beach. So I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit, but I am happy that I can get more pigment from this palette, because initially I was just like, I am barely getting pigment. I mean, this is pretty, like I said, I think this is pretty, but if I would have played with this in the store, I probably would not have picked it up, if I'm being honest. The Nars Orgasm on the Beach palette, this is not available anymore at Sephora, at least not online, but it is available on Nars' website. This is also limited edition, but let me tell you, I got so much use out of this over this summer. It still sits in my drawer that I like to reach for products that I love a lot, because I'm still using this palette. It is by far one of my favorite purchases of the year. So if you were wanting my comparisons between the two, I would say, even though this high profile cheek palette does have more, if I could say, like, fall wintry types of tones versus the Orgasm on the Beach, it was a lot easier to use this formula. I could use any brush that I wanted, natural hair, synthetic, whatever blush brush that I typically reach for, I could use with this palette. And for me, I could use these 3 shades as highlighters. I can use that as a contour, and these 2 shades as blushes in terms of like what it would look like on the skin. So I enjoy this one so much more. I just think this one's okay. I don't hate it. I'm still gonna use it. So yeah, I think it's okay. It's just okay. Nothing, to write home about, but I think it's okay. If you were interested in this one, if you're interested in this and you feel like you have a brush at home that you can, work with it, maybe still get it, especially if you're like, I know I like this type of formulation and I know I like the tones, then I would say get it. But if you're just kind of like, is this a need? No, it's definitely not a need. I didn't really film this, but Kosas sent me such a sweet PR package. I'll show you what I have here. So here's the PR package. Was not expecting this, and here's everything. So in it, they sent me 2 more concealers. You guys know I love this powder. 3 of their brow gels, and then 2 of their pencils. So I already tried one of the pencils, and I really enjoy it. So I did use a pencil today, and I like how pronounced my brows are. So this brow pencil is in the shade Brown Black. My brows are more pronounced in terms of color than I've been liking the past few months, but I do think this is a really nice brow pencil. The tip is quite fine. It has that triangular tip. Well, this brow pencil glides very nicely on the brow, but it doesn't slip across the brow, making it too, emollient or anything like that. And then I love that it has a spoolie. So as of late, I've been doing my brows a little bit differently, and I like it. I've been going in first with the Kosas Clear Brow Gel, and I do like this brow gel because it doesn't make my brows crunchy feeling, but I do think it provides a little bit of extra hold. So I go in first with the brow gel and flare my brows up the way that I like them. Let the brow gel sit for just, maybe like a minute or so, and then I go in and fill in my brows with the brow pencil. And I have really been liking how my brows look. Really have enjoyed it. So I really like these 2 products. And then I've also used the Pigmented Brow Gel. So this one is also in the shade Brown Black, and this is nice. So this actually looks really complimentary on the eyes. I keep saying eyes, brows. when I am going for like a no makeup look and it's like, let me just run something through my brows, but like I don't really want to commit to actually doing them, I like this one. Once again, doesn't leave my brows feeling crunchy or anything like that, but it does deposit just the right amount of brow product without it looking too heavy and kind of too sloppy, if that makes sense. Then after that, went in with mascara, and so this is their Big Clean mascara. And this mascara, I really have wanted to try it for a while. It was sold out for a while, so when I saw it, I was like, yes. Okay, so here's the thing. This is so thick. Did y'all hear that? Okay, so here is the shape of the wand. The wand is very interesting, not your traditional shape. The way that I've been applying this mascara that I really think helps to lift the lashes and add drama is I'll go in with this rounded side first and apply the mascara like this. And you are obviously seeing this in the demonstration. And then I'll flip it to the concave side and then push my lashes up while still applying mascara. And I really think that it helps to just add the drama. I love it. I did go in with the Lancome Cils Booster Lash Primer because I always go in with a lash primer before mascara, but I have put this mascara on by itself and I still get a very dramatic effect to the eyes. I also like with the way that the tip is, I can go in and deposit mascara on my inner lashes and it does a good job of actually separating those lashes and applying mascara there. So I feel like I actually am able to get mascara on all of my lashes. And it's not without just getting just like a clump of mascara on the inner portion of my eye. For the lower lash line, I can use this product on the lower lash line. Because so much product comes out on the wand, I don't dip back into the wand when I go down for my lower lash line because I don't want to have too much transfer. And I just use whatever is left on the wand for my lower lashes. So here's the thing. I have used this mascara about 5, 6 times, and it is very messy. Today, after I used it, I got product on the outside of this particular tube. And I do think that the more that I use it, the better it gets because the formula is drying out. I just wish that it wasn't so thick. Like if we could like make this formula and just like thin it out just a bit, I think this formulation would be amazing. However, I really like the effects that it has on my lashes. Like in my past few videos, I haven't really, not the like consecutively, but I would say in the past like, I don't know, 3 or 4 uploads, I haven't worn lashes, I don't think. And I've been using that mascara and I've been very happy with the way that my lashes look. So I think it's a really good mascara. I just think they need to maybe thin the formulation just a tad, so it's not getting everywhere. And then lastly, St. Cosmetics also sent over one of their lipsticks. And so I actually got 3 lipsticks from them. Today I'm wearing the shade Rome and I'll just add a little bit more. And these are really nice, very hydrating in their formulation. So this is a satin formula. I think this particular shade is so pretty. It's like, we've got like a bit of a raspberry pinky type of shade. And just to show you the other shades that they sent. So here is the shade Milan, which I think is really, really pretty. Here is the shade Montreal. So I'm really happy with these lipsticks. I think they're pretty. I like the packaging of these lipsticks. So this has a hexagon shape and all of their packaging is going to be cream with gold trimming. So guys, those are all of the products that I tried today. We've got some hits. We've got a couple of products. I wouldn't say that anything today was a total miss. I wouldn't say that. Just not meeting all of the expectations. But let me know your thoughts down below as to how you think my makeup look turned out. Have you tried any of these products and do you like them? And what are some new products that you have tried lately that you enjoy? And what are some products that you've tried lately that I should avoid if I have not already purchased it? Leave it all in the comment section below. And if you've made it to this point in the video and you have yet to subscribe to my channel, I would love for you to consider subscribing and joining the Glam Girl Squad. And guys, that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope to see you in my very next video. Bye, guys.